Welcome back to the Daily Crypto Market Update. Eric Trump says it again, buy the dips, just like he did back in February before everything crashed. Please, Eric, do not let this be a meme, please. And by the way, just in case you are wondering, yes, USA Today did post on their real official account on X. XRP is the smartest cryptocurrency to buy with $500 right now. Please, God, no. I don't want to see any more of these awful posts on X. Those are the stupidest posts that we could possibly see. And that is also an indication of where we are in the market. I don't like seeing stuff like that. That's like end of bull market kind of stuff. We'll see more of it. I don't think we're there yet. Now, the good news about Bitcoin, it's kind of good, is that yesterday was a nice 1.48% close. Let me go ahead and just turn off the TBO and TBT divergence, okay? We talked about the importance of this trend line right here, and Bitcoin should hold this trend line. It lost it, as we know, on Friday. Saturday was a red day. Yeah, Sunday, Bitcoin moved up 1.48%. This isn't good. I know a lot of you are like, yay, this is so amazing. We're so back. You guys, this is literally a setup for Bitcoin to fall farther, just so you know. When you see a support line broken, usually you're going to see the price. I have to do it like this. The price is going to fall below like this. It's going to test it again, and then it falls lower. Now, the expected behavior for BTC right now is unfortunately lower. We still have an entry here at 111,000. Now, what will invalidate this? Well, no duh, going above and closing above this now resistance level, but was previously support. This isn't really a great setup. I know that a lot of you are reading bull posts right now on X and you're like, okay, everything's good. We had a good Sunday. If you break support level like this, a support level, and you come up to test it and you can't close above it, that's a test. That's not good. That's respecting this as resistance, okay? Just so you know, it's not a positive sign. Now, we could say some positive signs are the fact that we haven't seen the price of Bitcoin go back up to touch the TBO fast line since printing our TBO closed long back here on Friday last week. That would be a great confirmation, not only breaking above this resistance level, but tagging the fast line would be a really good sign. We can also see that the slow line continues to move upward. It's still moving up. It's still bullish. This price action, though, is not bullish. And of course, we have a TBT bearish divergence signal from Thursday. On the 4-hour time frame, we don't actually see a real test of this level, but that doesn't really change my thinking or my bias. On the weekly, obviously the big news is that BTC fell 4% for the week. But more importantly, volume did not meet my expectations, at least on Binance. I didn't actually check it here on, the index, and it didn't, which isn't a really good sign. It's not terrible, but it's not great. Let me just put it that way. Does that help? On the daily time frame, volume is always going to be, well, always, but 90% of the time it's going to be weak on the weekends, which is basically what happened. We don't want to see another long liquidation flush happen today with Bitcoin's price going down, but people will be buying the dip. The one shining good bit of news is that Bitcoin had a proper RSI reset. And an RSI reset is when we see daily RSI fall below 25, this green line right here. And then, that's right, I have to change this. Wait, why isn't it showing up? Super annoying. Hey. And then it crosses up above 25. That's actually a really good RSI reset. That could mark the bottom, just like it did back over here in April, on April 8th, just like it started to over here on 25th of February when Eric Trump said, buy the dips, guys. So this is actually a good RSI reset. I'm not going to lie. It's actually a nice one. Now we need to see the price of Bitcoin respect that. That's the only bullish thing I can identify right now, apart from the slow line moving up. Now, Ethereum is actually in better shape. Even though it also had a pullback, it did print a TBT bearish divergence signal on Friday. It fell inside of the cloud, but yesterday actually had a really good close. And I keep saying yesterday because I live in Tokyo. You can see right here, my time is 9 a.m. It's 9:21 a.m. currently. So Sunday's close, which just finished 22 minutes ago, was slightly higher than the close on Saturday, which is good. But more importantly, it actually held support. Let me go ahead and hide these indicators again. So we can see a support fan here. This is the long-term support level. And then we have a short-term support level right here. It actually retraced back to it and tested it. It pierced it, but it's still okay. It's much better looking than Bitcoin, for sure. Way better. Now the slow line still is moving up. We don't have any TBO closed longs yet. It's still looking good on the weekly. Volume actually exceeded the moving average last week for Ethereum. On the daily time frame, of course, over the weekend we didn't see that. We don't have an RSI reset either for Ethereum, but it's still much better. Now, because we had a nice day on Sunday for crypto, we saw stablecoin dominance close down. Combined stablecoin dominance representing USDT plus USDC was down yesterday 2%. But the fact of the matter is that because it's inside of the cloud, this is a sign of bullish consolidation. Yes, bullish consolidation, meaning that the price, we should be expecting the price or percentage to go to the top of the cloud up here at 6.89%. I don't want to see that, but that's what it means when we see that. When we see the price go inside of the cloud. We don't have any reversal symbols necessarily on the 4-hour. If anything, we have worse symbols. We have a TBO breakout cluster. Now, the cloud on the 4-hour, it's still looking really weak. And to be honest, we actually already saw this on stable.c.d back over here. And we saw our mini breakout, which I'm happy with, a 3% breakout. And then that's that. Hopefully that's it. But seeing this here is not a positive sign. I'm not really excited. We really need to see Bitcoin close above that broken, or rather tested resistance level, and then we'll see stablecoin dominance fall. Bitcoin dominance, of course, we saw a nice move up on Friday and Saturday. Sunday, it lost 0.5%. So that means it's being allocated towards everything else, like total ES, which is up 0.13% yesterday. Total E50.D. This is total crypto total market cap, excluding the top 50. So it's a lot of degen coins. On the 4-hour time frame, we actually have a TBT bullish divergence signal right here. Yes, we have the breakdowns, but because we don't have a third, I'm not worried about it. This is actually a good sign that we should see upside, a bounce, at least for today, because of the weekend and last week being heavily oversold. And then others also has a TBO close long from Friday. So the expected behavior is for the price of this market cap to go up to tag the fast line, which is basically historical TBO resistance right here at 278 billion. It's been a rough weekend, I'm not going to lie, but the reality is that if you're able to buy the dip and use a DCA strategy like I use here with my bots, whether it's here for a link, this position's probably going to take profit. It's been open for almost 3 days. It'll take profit real quick. ADA, this one is still working on it. It still has a little bit further to go, 4% to close. This take profit and up a little up higher for the other one. And even on Filecoin, this one's actually going to take longer. It's been open for 6 days. But the reality is that even if we get another pullback, I'm prepared to buy the dip. This is how I've been trading this entire bull market, and it serves me so well when we have these pullbacks because no one seems to be prepared for this concept of pullbacks. And the reality is that pullbacks are a normal, healthy part. They're corrections, and they're very healthy, and they allow us to go up higher. August is off to a rocky start so far. Is it going to stay green? I really do believe it will be green. It's just not the best way to start the month by breaking support. But the reality is that I'm prepared to buy the dip. That's exactly what we teach in our courses at thebettertraders.com. You have to check out 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom. This is our best course that teaches concepts on how to buy the dip with a time-tested and approved DCA strategy that we've been running since November 2020. Bull and bear market. It's been doing really well. It also comes with one-on-one coaching. It also includes a 1-month trial of the TBO indicator and the Better Traders Club. There's something I want to bring to your attention over here, speaking of the club, and that is basically fear and greed. Fear and greed has dropped just a bit. We were looking at some really bullish numbers last week. We were at like 73, 74, 72. And then here on the 1st, on Friday, I believe, 65, 55, 53. So it's dropped a lot. It's actually a good thing to see a flush of fear and greed just because things really didn't feel very greedy when Bitcoin was dropping. I don't know about you. So, yes, it's not the best feeling in the world for it to be at 53, but having a reset on fear and greed to me is actually a win. Now, of course, I have a lot of charts that I want to share with you in today's video, but before I get to it, if you haven't liked the video, like it. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, and then leave a comment if I don't cover the coin that you really, really love, and no promises, but if I haven't covered the coin that you're really interested in, leave a comment down below. All right, so let's get into today's picks. So starting off first with XRP, because I mean, hey, when we see USA today posting, the smartest cryptocurrency to buy right now with $500 is XRP. Not a paid shill. Not at all, USA Today. No, not at all. So weird. But anyway, XRP moved up 6% yesterday, and it does have a TBO close long, which is what all these blue flags represent right here. The next expected behavior for this is a move to touch or tag the TBO fast line, which should happen today by the looks of things. Now, the slow line is kind of moving up, but it's not a bullish chart really anymore. It did have an RSI reset, so that's a good bottoming signal. There's going to be clear resistance here at 355. I'm still waiting to see what happens, but we're just talking about these closed longs for now. SUI also has a closed long. We don't have an RSI reset. We haven't seen the price of SUI tag the fast line yet with a target of 364. Link, similar story with a target of 1698. XLM completed it. This is awesome. So XLM actually had a really good day yesterday, up 8%, and so far it's up 2% right now. Bonk, this one does not have an RSI reset. It went as low as 25.41. And we have a close long from Thursday. So we're waiting on the price to go up here to the fast line, which is at 28.57. SPX actually did it. So we see a TBO close long here on Thursday. And yesterday's move actually saw a high to 172. You can see the number right there, 172, and it basically smacked the TBO fast line. That's the expected behavior. Now we're just waiting for SPX and a lot of these coins to slowly drift back up higher from where they fell. Floki, this one has not yet retraced, but it is on the way to rebound. No RSI reset there. Now, even though most of the market is bearish, we have a couple of coins that are pretty bullish, and that would be ENA and TON. Now, we know that ENA had this TBO breakout cluster, perfect 3 in a row, and it got absolutely slapped back down to the fast line, which is actually a TBO springboard bounce. Yesterday's move, 13.8%. Which is insane for ENA. It really is a huge one-day move. The slow line is moving up, still has lots of bullish energy. This chart has not fallen inside of the daily TBO cloud. It's a strong bullish chart. Even over the weekend, volume is exceeding the moving average. This is a great chart. TON coin, we talked about this last week. The main thing we talked about last week is the fact that it had a great pump right here, but it wasn't high enough to exceed the local high at 3694. Check out what happened yesterday, 3748. So there we go. And 1 TBO breakout, 2 TBO breakouts. I don't know what's going on with TON right now, but I'm telling you guys now, this chart wants to break out. The next obvious logical point of resistance is TBO resistance here at 4076. But I mean, volume speaks for itself. Like, this is a great chart. Even though yesterday's volume didn't exceed, it just barely touched the moving average. I'm paying attention to breakouts. I'm paying attention to bullish sentiment with the TBO. This is a really surprising chart. So these green flags right here denote something that's bullish in regards to the TBO or TBT divergence, which is a pro tier indicator available in the Better Traders Club. So Cardano, ADA, had a I'm getting a lot of stuff mixed up in my brain right now. It's Monday, you can tell. So we have I said it again, RSI reset. Confirmed yesterday. That's a really nice dip, just like back over here in June and over here in June again. Check this out though. On the 4-hour time frame, we have a TBT bullish divergence signal right there. That's a great bounce signal for ADA. Litecoin, this one is extremely surprising to me. given the fact that it really just didn't do a whole lot of anything over the weekend. And then yesterday up 4%. But more importantly, it closed above short-term overhead resistance. I am very optimistic on Litecoin right now. This is a great chart. Even on the 4-hour, it agrees with me. Pengu, this one is starting to make a nice bounce. Even though it fell inside the cloud, it's going to go back up to test the 786 fib level. Still a strong bullish chart. No TBT bullish divergence yet on the 4-hour. And you don't want me to talk about it, I'm sure, but Syrup actually has a really nice setup here. And on the 4-hour time frame, TBT bullish divergence, just like this one that preceded the pump. Do not expect another 60% pump. There is clear resistance here at about 55 cents, but it did bottom. In my opinion, it bottomed, even though it made a lower low. I do expect this one to start moving back up. Now, for some must-watch charts, these are actually some updates based off of what I shared on my video on Saturday, namely a lot of these RSI resets. And we can see, I'm actually going to hide those things and make this a little bit bigger. So we have one here for Solana. It's pretty weak in that it didn't dip that low. And Solana still has an open TBO close long. So we're waiting for the price to go up to $172 to close that open long. SHIB had a really nice RSI reset over the weekend. Unfortunately, it's in process of printing a TBO open short. I really want to see this chart though. Oops, I hit the wrong button. I really want to see it push above short-term overhead resistance. It's very much short-term oversold, but once we get enough momentum, anything can happen really. And I think it could actually spike up higher. Aave, also an RSI reset. Just for reference, you can see back here, we had the previous RSI reset in June. That was a pretty deep cut. And then we saw Aave move up another 47%. We don't have that same deep cut, but we should be seeing a nice reversal here, a nice move back up towards resistance at 325 for Aave. Pepe, this one also had an RSI reset over the weekend. Tau, RSI reset over the weekend. Again, here's the last one. Even though it actually chopped sideways for a bit, it did end up moving up higher. It was a good entry. Farcoin, this one had a really nice RSI reset, finally. And it's slowly moving back up. This chart's really heavily oversold. It has not yet touched the fast line after printing an a close long, the blue diamond right there. Aptos, this one also had a really good RSI reset. You can see the last one right here. Yes, it had a short-term pop and it waited a while to do something, but it was still a good bottom entry, just like this one appears to be so far. Trump coin, this one also has I'll be fine, don't worry. RSI reset at support, which is actually a really nice sign right there. Virtual, this one also has an RSI reset. Helium, RSI reset, and ACT, RSI reset. The main thing we need to be watching today, like right now, today, is this level of resistance. If Bitcoin actually closes above the price point of, let me get the right number, about $115,000, we'll say $300, but really the target is basically 116K. If we can see a close above this previous support level, but now resistance level, we should be good. We should be good. It's just a little bit like nerve-wracking because anything can happen right now. But this is why, again, it's a good idea to get some education so that you're not taken by surprise the next time we have a pullback. They are going to happen. Now, speaking of pullbacks, you might want to watch my video that I shared yesterday about my price prediction on SUI. I do think it will do really well this year, but what about next year? Could it really drop 90%? I think so, but you have to watch the video to find out why. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.